Hey, howdy and happy day. Abortion and capital punishment. Two interesting topics. My office recently took a poll and found that 80% of women that we spoke to were liberal who favored abortion, and 96% of the same women were against capital punishment. So, analyze that, break it down. It's okay to kill a person who's committed no crime. However, it is wrong to kill a person who has committed a very bad crime. That certainly makes sense. Hey, maybe to somebody, not to me. It gives me a headache. Republicanism. Republicanism. Wow. It's in the Constitution. The United States Constitution, republic is mentioned once. The word, it's in Section 4, Article 4, where it states this: the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government. Hey, shows you how you better vote. Get out there and get voting Republican. Right is right, left is wrong. A Democrat-backed bill is going through the legislature in California. It will require judges in that state to consider a convicted criminal's race when determining how long to sentence them in prison. Okay, that's because we're all racist people, and we have to rectify the racial bias in the criminal justice system. They think it's unfair that you have large percentages of blacks and Hispanics and other people in jail for committing crimes. Maybe you should go out and talk to the people that were the victims of the crime. They would kind of think it's fair to put them away for a long time. But that's going on in other places. In Canada, if you're an Indian, you had a bad childhood and other things, and you murdered somebody, but you get a lesser sentence than a white guy who murdered somebody. Murder's murder. Bad crimes are bad crimes. Color shouldn't matter. When color is introduced in this fashion, it's done from a racial perspective for sure, but not like they're suggesting. They are the racists. It doesn't matter what color you are. If you do a bad thing, you should be penalized. You should be hung until dead. If you do really bad things, capital punishment is good. It's the ultimate thing. It's over now. We don't have to worry about you because you're gone. But they're saying if you're a different color and you're brought up differently and you've got all these issues, then you should be treated differently. I talk slow on this and I stutter a little bit because I'm really trying to understand how any person could come up with such a thing. And then I get it. These aren't real people. They're all from Mars. They're aliens. Hey, the federal government in Canada, they say that they've had 46,000 complaints, mostly from people, mostly to do with airplanes being late. These complaints are all about travelers, from travelers. The government speaks for the customer. That's not very good. The free market should speak for itself. If you have a complaint, and people are doing this now, they have a complaint, they're calling the government. They've been brainwashed into thinking that Big Brother will look after them. And that's not good. Phone the airline. Stop using them. The free market will work if you let it, but the government has been successful in that because they've told you, they've brainwashed you into thinking that they're going to care for you. And people have fallen into that trap. And the government, they couldn't care for themselves. They're careless at everything that they do. They're crazy people. Go into a government office and look around and say, I want to hire someone. Who would you hire? There's not a lot of them that you would, because they're just little brain dead people walking around creating new rules all of the time and dealing with this type of thing. So they're saying to the airline, we're going to teach you a lesson if you keep on being late. You know what? Don't complain to the government. Complain to the party that's deserving of the complaint and let the market work it out. Just saying. Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. They're an extension of the Liberal Party. The mayor there and a lot of his little goofy people that are on council, they're left-wing wackos. They've done so many bad things. The ward system used to have numbers, and now it has Indian names that nobody can pronounce. There's a long list of things that they've done and haven't done. But this is kind of a fun one. It is the beginning of more insanity. They've now said, hey, we're going to keep you safe. Okay? How are you going to keep me safe? Well, this is about plastic forks and paper napkins and other things as well. Restaurants now in Edmonton will not be permitted to use single-use cups in-house. Reusable cups must be used for dining orders, and the restaurant must have a written policy. A written policy. This is a restaurant. A written policy for how to deal with customers who want to bring in their own cups from home. Who does that? Straws, prepackaged condiments like ketchup and mustard, napkins must only be available by request and not provided automatically. Yeah, McDonald's, I see, is doing that in other places, in states. You know, they give you fries and then you have to ask for ketchup, and of course you don't. You go sit down and then you have to get back in this lineup and get ketchup, and then you go back to the cold French fries and try to make it all work. I mean, but in Edmonton now, they're going to enforce this, apparently. They're going to bylaw officers stand around and say, don't you dare give him a napkin. He just bought a sloppy Joe, man. Hey, baby, don't do that. And it goes on and on. I mean, businesses now also, stores, grocery stores, will not be able to give you a plastic shopping bag. But of course, when you go into the store, everything you buy has plastic in it. Ketchup, back to that, anything, most things. They're made out of plastic. These people are nuts. They're totally insane. Get rid of them. Vote. Like, I think 30% of all the people in Edmonton vote for the people who run Edmonton. Maybe it's a little higher. Whatever it is, get out there and get rid of these people. A man told me that the Liberals were smart. Forget about it. They're not smart. They're flatlined. Flatlined, you know what that is? Dead in the head. Hey, see ya.